What it do? Third hole? No, I'm not gonna do that. But what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm gonna be giving you my full card prediction and breakdown for the Sean Strickland Anthony. Nah, we're not gonna fucking do the fake excited YouTube intro, but we are back for the Sean Strickland and Fluffy Hernandez fight night card in Houston, Texas, going down on Saturday. Today's Thursday, 2 days from now. Awesome. So I'm going to be giving you guys my picks and full analysis for the card. Got some decent fights on here. Uros Medic in the co-main event. I don't know what they're doing. I fucking hate the UFC right now. They're pissing me off. They have no title fights booked. The Whitehouse card, you know, is fucking taking all the fucking attention away from everything else. Um, but that's what the UFC is now. You never fucking see any of these guys. These guys only fight fucking once or twice a year. Like nobody fights 3 times a year anymore. It's fucking sad, but I guess we have some solid fights on this card. Um, Not really. It's kind of like seems a bit boring, but you know, I don't know. Great main event though. Strickland and Fluffy. This is a great main event. Danny Gay, Melky Costa. That's a good fight night. Feature fight. Sergey Spivak and Ante DeLija's back after getting slimed out by Waldo after eye poking him. Jacoby Smith is back against Josiah Harrell. That's actually a really solid fight. I'm very interested to see what happens in this fight. Zach Reese, Michelle Pereira, like, why the fuck would they ever make this fight? Chidi and Carlos Leal, solid fight. Actually, a solid fight. Another solid fight. Women's fight, who cares? Solid fight. So, okay, it's not that bad. If you're a hardcore fan, this is actually a pretty entertaining card. If you're not, then, you know, I can't help you, but why would you be watching the channel? Anyway, let's start it off. Juliana Miller and Carly Judice. Yeah, shit, dude. I don't know. I've never watched any of them fight, but I'll pick Carly Judice because everybody else is picking Carly Judice. By who the fuck cares? Dude, I already clicked on the next fight without even fucking thinking about it. Look at that. Next fight on the card: Jordan Levitt and Yadier Del Valle. Now, whether or not the Isaac Dolgarian fight with Yadier Del Valle, whether or not Isaac Dolgarian did actually throw that fight or not, I do actually think I don't. Based on watching that fight, I don't actually think he threw. He shot in like this. Like that's what happens when you only have wrestling in MMA. I think you shoot it on a guy with really good jiu-jitsu who has really good takedown defense, sprawls on you, takes your back quick, chokes you out. Especially with how big, like Yadier Doval is huge compared to Dolgarian in their fight. So I'm not gonna like discount that shit as a possibility of happening. It was just the way the odds changed, and like if you know anything about betting, maybe like some guy came into like a sharp sports book, put all their fucking money on Del Valle to win on the money line, and that's why it moved. Or maybe somebody leaked an injury or some shit. Like it's not fixed. Like betting lines moving does not mean fights or anything, dude. That's just the fucking betting line moves, dude. You know what I mean? Like if somebody who wins betting UFC bets on Del Valle to beat Dolgarian, they got to move the line. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, time to break down this fight. Yadier Del Valle's going to win by TKO. That's about it. Jordan Levitt can't strike. He's zesty. Only has grappling. We saw in the last fight Yadier Del Valle has great defensive grappling. Whether or not Dolgarian was going to throw or not, he did actually try to finish that takedown that he shot and did get it stuffed completely by Del Valle. So Del Valle is huge, Cuban, tough as shit. we're gonna be picking him to win this fight by TKO. I think it should be pretty easy for him, actually. I think this is a terrible stylistic. This is like a step down, dude. This is a step down. And Jordan Levitt's coming down a weight class, but he's gonna be still smaller in there. Yeah, that's just a terrible matchup for Jordan Levitt. Next fight on the card: Jean-Paul Lebosnyani versus Phil. Oh my God, dude, Phil Rowe. Phil Rowe's so cold with it, bro. Nah, um, Phil Rowe's not good. That's it. Jean Paul is good. Jean Paul coming off the Contender Series. Really exciting fighter coming off the Contender Series. He is Jean Paul Lebos. I'm just going to call him Jean Paul. That's fucking sick. JPL. Yeah, against Phil Rowe. If you're 6'3" welterweight, I mean, Ian Gary's a 6'3" welterweight, so I can't talk shit. But Phil Rowe was just too lanky. He got laid on his last fight by Suk Young Ko and was getting some ground and pound landed on him. He fucking lays on his back and tries to play jujitsu in UFC fights. Like, I'm never gonna pick you to win. And then Jean Paul is a great prospect coming off the Contender Series. I think doesn't Faraz coach him? I might be mistaken, but I think Faraz coaches him, so he's gonna come in with a great game plan. The height difference, I don't really think it matters because Phil Rowe, if he gets touched on the chin, he's gonna get knocked out, and if he gets rocked, he might just like sit to guard and get beat up on the ground. So I'm gonna go with John Paul to get a finish here and get a TKO against Phil Rowe. I would have liked to see them get John Paul a better opponent than Phil Rowe. Like, this is kind of a weird matchup for me. It could be a dull matchup and Phil Rowe could like test John Paul a bit, but like not test him as in giving him work. Test him as in like just fucking barely surviving to a decision. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But we'll go with John Paul to get that one done. Next fight on the card. This is a tough one. This is a very tough one. Punahele Soriano versus Ramiz Brahimaj. Very competitive fight. Um, I've been flip flopping on this one. I've been thinking about this one hard. This is like the one I've been struggling with who I'm gonna pick this whole fucking week because I genuinely don't know. Because Punahele Soriano, like, he's huge and has power, but like, I don't know, dude. Varetnikov to a decision. Like, I know I didn't pick Varetnikov last week. I picked Nico Price. That was the worst pick I've ever made on the channel. But dude, he's still not good. And still like carrying him to a decision and looking sloppy is still not good. And then Ramiz, he's on a good win streak. He's from Brooklyn. You know, he's training with Aljo. And he's training with Aljo and Marab and the boys up there. But and Punahele Soriano used to be a middleweight. He's now a welterweight. It doesn't seem to have affected his chin at all, but and he's huge, by the way. He's huge for this division. He wins by just like physicality mogging. I don't know why I've ever said that. Shoot me if I ever say that again, but that's what he does to win fights. But I think Ramiz is going to come in with the skill and the game plan to be able to get this one done. You know, I think he's going to have the more technical striking, and I think he has the grappling to not be able to just get physicality mogged by Punahele Soriano. So I'm going to pick Ramiz Brahimaj by a decision, even though he did get held up against the fence by Temba. Temba's really tall. Punahele Soriano is only an inch taller than Ramiz. I don't think there's going to be like fence stalling that Ramiz is not going to be able to get away from. And I think he's going to be training really hard in the grappling. And Punahele Soriano is just too slow on the feet to be able to outstrike him. So I think we'll go with Ramiz to get this one done. He could get a knockout, but I'm not going to bet on it because I'll go just a decision because I think that if he does rock Punahele Soriano, he is going to get held up against the fence. It won't be like he's not gonna get held up against the fence to a loss, but he is gonna get held up against the fence, but be landing at range. How I see this fight going down. So I don't think and Punahele Soriano is strong, so I think that's how this fight goes. Ramiz is out at range. landing on the feet, and then Punahele clinches, but he's still losing, even though he's clinching because he's getting tagged on the feet, can't get any takedowns, and then rinse and repeat every round. Okay, cool. Got through that one. Next fight on the card, the biggest, baddest rematch, the Tough Cookie rematch. Jocelyn Edwards and Nora Canole. Cannoli? Did I just Cornol? What? I don't fucking know. Who cares? We'll pick Jocelyn Edwards because she's not 36 and she has a size advantage and she can grapple. Nobody cares. Next fight on the card, Alden Correa and Louis Garule. Now, Louis Garule is not having a good time in the UFC. Even though he showed up on short notice on the Contender Series and beat one of DC's Oklahoma State wrestling boys on the Nick Piccinini. Dude, if you're a college wrestling fan, you know Nick Piccinini's a bitch. He talks so much shit. But so good to see him lose to Louis Garule on the Contender Series. But I'm not even a college wrestling fan. There's just a clip of whatever the fuck his face is, the one Iowa dude saying he's gonna beat his ass. But anyway, fucking back to this fight. Louis Garule's not having a good time in the UFC pretty much. Got shit on by Ode. Lost his last fight, I forget to who, but he's 0-2. And Alden Correa, even though he's lost in the UFC before when he was really young, came back and he's on kind of a career resurgence. And he's only 27. I'm assuming he's going to be improving throughout all these fights. And Luis Garule, he's so chinny in the UFC, he gets rocked every single fight. Alden Correa, I'm just going to trust that he is better than Luis Garule at fighting, essentially. And I think this is actually like a terrible matchup for Luis Garule to have. So, yep, there we go. We're going to pick Alden Correa to get this one done. I don't know. He could get a submission or a knockout. I'll pick Alden by finish. I think he can get a finish in this one, and he should get a step up in competition after this because he's on a solid run. But yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. Like, pretty much, yeah, Alden Correa is just better at fighting than Luis Garule. That's it. Next fight on the core, the fucking core, dude. The card. Ode Osborne versus Ali B. Idris. This is a weird one. Like again, these matchups are all so weird. Ali B. Idris is coming off a loss in the tough finale to whatever the fuck the kid's name is that beat the shit out of him and then triangled him, right? And Ode Osborne is coming off of knocking out Luis Garule, who we just mentioned, or TKOing him, and having a really close fight with Steve Urseg where he got out grappled by Steve a little bit to lose, but he was rocking Steve all over the place in the first round and was rocking him a bit in the second round. So I think Ode is slightly improved, and I think he's going to be able to get a TKO against this Alibi Idris guy who got his ass beat by in the tough finale. I don't rate the Ultimate Fighter at all. So, and Ode Osborne's a veteran of the UFC. This is his shit. He's been doing this shit for a while. So, yeah, I'm not going to pick him to get chinned or lose. And opposite stance fight, Ode Osborne has a really nasty straight left hand. That's what he caught Luis Garule with. That's what he caught Steve Urseg with. Kazakhstani guy, blocky kind of wrestler. He's going to be squared up for that shit. So, yeah, I'm going to pick Ode Osborne by straight left hands down the pipe. Whether they knock him out or not, I don't know. And defending the grappling, he has a good enough wrestling game to not get taken down. And he's way bigger. So, yeah. We'll go with Ode. And the footwork, dude, he's going to be moving around, picking at him. I'm going to pick an Ode masterclass. How about that? And then if he gets caught and knocked out, I look like an idiot. But, yeah, Ode's going to put on a masterclass in this one, I think. Too tall, too rangy, too fast, and his grappling's too good to get taken down. Next fight on the card. Chidi Njokuani and Carlos Leal. This is also a tough one to pick. This is a really good fight. But yeah, Carlos Leal coming off that the loss to Muslim Salikov. Coming up against another Unk, dude, in Cheaty. Cheaty's an Unk at this point, right? He's 37. Um, I'm I'm gonna pick Cheaty because he's too rangy, and Carlos Leal just doesn't grapple. I know Cheaty got choked out by Jake Matthews in his last fight, but Leal, I've never seen Leal grapple. He doesn't grapple offensively, and at range, Cheaty is actually really technical, and he's gonna be picking him apart. So yeah, and Carlos Leal's not on the roids anymore like he was in the Fakradina fight. Nah, but that's true. So this one's pretty simple to me. Like, Cheaty's gonna just pick Leal apart at range. He's gonna move around. He's gonna be feinting at him. The feints are gonna give him problems. He's gonna kind of a squared stance, teeps, low kicks. You know what I mean? He's gonna feint jabs, but never throw one, even though he can easily land one probably. And Leal's gonna be like trying to work his way into range, but getting tagged as he does it. He could plant one on the chin and sleep him. That's what I'm worried about, but I'm gonna trust Cheaty to be able to like put hands on Carlos Leal enough because he did get knocked out in his last fight, right? So he might come into this fight more like tame and timid, but I don't think that's the game plan he's gonna want to have here. And if his chin did get cracked last fight, well, his chin did get cracked last fight. He's gonna not be able to absorb damage as much as good. So that's kind of what I'm banking on to happen here. So I'm gonna pick Cheaty just to put hands on him at range, put teeps on him at range, kicks, and then be able to defend all the grappling. Probably get stuck up against the cage a bit, and in the clinch, Cheaty's got nasty Muay Thai in the clinch. So once he's defending the grappling, if Liao tries to grapple, he's still going to be landing elbows off the breaks in the clinch and knees in the clinch that are going to damage Liao because he's really good at it. So yeah, I'm going to pick Cheaty to get back in the win column for this one. Too rangy and his grappling, and Liao just doesn't offensively grapple. So yeah. Next one. What the fuck is this matchup, dude? Zach, what the fuck? I mean, here's the fucking thing, you guys. Dude, Zach Reitz has fucking terrible cardio, and Michelle Pereira has the worst cardio. What the fuck is this fight, dude? I don't like. Can Michelle Pereira chin Zach? Zach Reitz has no chin, by the way. He actually doesn't have a chin, but he's huge and he's a good athlete. But his footwork's terrible. It's trash. But he's gonna stand out at range and like try to land teeps, and Michelle Pereira's just gonna be like flipping around the fucking octagon like a bum, like an idiot. Like I don't, like I don't know what the fuck to pick here. Um, I guess I'm just gonna pick Zach Reese because he trains at a good gym. I think he trains at Jeff Neal's gym with Safe Sayud. You know, the general, dude. Yeah, the fucking general, right? But I just think Zach Reese is gonna grapple, and I'm just gonna trust that he has better grappling cardio than Michelle Pereira, and I'm gonna trust that his size is gonna be able to wear on Michelle Pereira, and that his strength is gonna wear on him to where he's just gonna lay on him for 3 rounds. Even if he does get like hurt in the first, I trust that he'll be able to just like drag Michelle Pereira down and like lay on him. That's what I'm gonna pick. Zach Reese by laying on Michelle Pereira. If Michelle Pereira chins Zach Reese in the first round, it'll be cool. He'll do a bunch of stupid ass flips in the octagon, and all the people in Houston are gonna go crazy. But like, dude, this guy's fucking dog shit. Cut him from the fucking sport. Both these guys cut him from sport, but especially Michelle Pereira, get him out of the fucking sport, dude. Um, Not a fighter. Zach Reese, kind of a fighter. He just doesn't have a chin, but you know, I'll bet on him to be able to grapple in this one. Show off his grappling chops. You know what I'm saying? I don't fucking know, dude. That's a terrible matchup. That's probably the worst fight on the card, besides the women's fights, because women's fights are always the worst. But yeah, next fight on the card: Kobe Smith versus Josiah Harrell. Holy fuck. I don't know, man. I want like, dude, Jacoby Smith is in the UFC and has UFC experience. But God, I just want to pick Josiah Harrell. The jacked hamster, he calls himself. That's his nickname. Because, dude, he's a 5'7" welterweight. He's a fucking jacked hamster. And Jacoby Smith's a wrestler, dude. Is Jacoby Smith going to be able to wrestle? And his striking is not that clean. Jacoby Smith's striking is not clean at all. You know what? I haven't watched any Josiah Harrell tape, man. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna have to, you know what? Here, I'm gonna like look it up. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look at like his last fight. And then if his striking is clean at all, I'm just gonna trust that he's too stocky to get taken down by Jacoby Smith. That's the thing though, if he does get taken down, Jacoby Smith is gonna have a lot of top pressure and he's gonna be able to fuck him up. I don't know. Does Josiah Harrell like wrestle? No, he does wrestle. Okay, he's actually really explosive. I'm seeing a clip of him double legging some guy through the fucking cage. Dude, he's going to a decision here in this one. Let me fucking go on this guy's Tapology, because I don't really know. Because, dude, if this guy can strike if Josiah Harrell can strike at all, he's actually probably going to win. That's the thing, because Jacoby Smith can't really strike. And he doesn't have 15-round cardio. Like, he gassed out against Nico the Dodo Bird Price, dude. He dragged him to a decision. And Varetnikov just dispatched the Dodo Bird in one. Why do I keep calling him the Dodo Bird? That's what Lucas Tracy called him in his video. But, dude, that's the thing. Jacoby Smith performed like shit against Nico Price. Carried him to a fucking round two. My bad. Late round two rear naked choke. Sorry, but he's carrying him that late. Josiah Harrell, if he can strike at all and has cardio at all, he'll be able to win. Let's see this. Okay, he's not that good. He's not that good. I'm watching his fights. I don't. Is he that good, dude? I don't know. I'm watching one of his fights against Kean Greenwich. Grenwit. Genrich. I'm wasting so much of the video. He's getting teeped up. Nah, okay, Jacoby Smith's gonna win. Yeah, nah, my bad. Jacoby Smith's gonna win. My bad for wasting your time, but nah, he's gonna win. My bad. If he doesn't, cool. We get a 5'7" prospect at welterweight, but nah, Jacoby Smith's gonna win. He's probably gonna be too big. Like the size in that fight is like taking a fucking is giving him issues, and that's on the regional scene, bro. To a 9-4 opponent. Come on. But next one, Sergey Spivak versus Ante Deliha. I don't know. I'll go Deliha by knockout. I don't think Sergey. I don't think Sergey's gonna. I mean, uh, the thing is, like, what even is Ante Deliha's takedown defense? Do we even know? Probably not. But nah, Ante Deliha's more experience. Is like more experienced, dude. Like, this is such a shitty fight. Heavyweight's just dumb, but I'm gonna pick Deliha to piece up Spivak and hurt him. Finish him off. Dust him. Get him out of there. All that. Because I think his hands are good. And the fact that he was able to rock Waldo as bad as he did, even without the eye poke, I still am impressed by that. And getting caught rushing in by Waldo and slept, that's not going to happen when you're fighting Sergey Spivak. Sergey Spivak stands there with a fucking high guard and he throws his jab from the top of his head. He's not going to hurt you. Even though Sergey Spivak did have a close fight with Waldo, I still am not going to trust him to not get slept here, and I'm not going to trust him to be able to out-grapple Ante Deliha. His striking isn't as good. He's going to get slept. That's what I'm picking. Deliha by knockout. His it's heavyweight, bro. His striking just isn't as good. If he doesn't get him down, Deliha's hands are too fast and powerful. Like, that's all it is. But next fight on the card, Dan Ige versus Melky Costa, or should I? I'm not gonna call him Milky Costa. That's fucking disgusting. Milk chocolate. No, what? That. Wait. I don't even. I don't have any vitiligo. He's got the Michael Jackson disease, the opposite of what Uncle Ruckus got. That's why he's white, even though he's Brazilian. But yeah, he's actually solid. Melky's actually a really solid I think he should be considered a contender at this point. I mean, dude, look at he lost to Steve Garcia by ground and pound. Congrats, that's not bad. Um, in like what his third fight, he's improved a lot since then. His kicks are nasty now. His hands, he can work on his hands a bit, and his defense he can work on a bit. But he does have a chin because he's been in some wars. He's got hit with a lot of shots by Julian Rosa, C-Rod, Feely guillotined, and that head kick against Charrier was nasty. So I think I'm gonna pick Melky to continue his momentum here against Dan Ige because I don't know. Dan Ige had his fight against Sean Woodson. Like, I'm gonna be real, it wasn't that impressive. I did have him winning and before he got the knockout, but it wasn't that impressive. And I think he's gonna have an issue with the range. And Melky's actually gonna throw kicks, right? Nobody actually throws kicks at Dan Ige. But when like who he fought Lerone, Diego Lopez, he does fight a lot of guys that are good, but like yeah, he lost to Bryce Mitchell. No shame in that. I don't know, dude. He One fight I'm gonna point at to Danny Ye's career though that could give me a hint of what's gonna happen here is actually his fight with the Korean Zombie back in 2021. Um, the Korean Zombie was like grappling him and taking his back and shit. And his last fight with Patricio Pitbull was an awful fucking performance too. Looked awful in that fight. So I think Danny is kind of on a decline in his career, even though he did drop Lerone Murphy. um, but he still after that he didn't throw shit, right? Like other than dropping Lerone Murphy, he actually stood there and did nothing in that entire fight. So I'm gonna pick Melky to win by actually just doing stuff in the fight, pretty much. I think Danny is kind of gonna like stand there and do nothing, right? And try to figure out what he's gonna do. You know what I mean? And then Melky's just gonna be landing body kicks, landing head kicks, shooting takedowns, potentially grappling, potentially submitting him, all that shit, right? I don't think Danny Gay's only way to win this fight is to get in range and plant a big right hand on Melky, but I think Melky's grappling is going to keep Danny Gay at bay. He's not going to want to get too close and get taken down. His Melky's jiu-jitsu is kind of nasty, and I don't think at range Danny Gay's not going to be able to do shit. And then even if he does pressure Melky back to the fence, like he's got to pressure him back to the fence, right? Melky is comfortable with his back to the fence. You see it in his fights. He's comfortable being the one pressured back and moving and circling back to range. So, long-winded way of saying Melky's just going to impose his will and get the dub. I'll go by decision because I don't think Danny is going to get submitted, but I could see a submission. But I don't think we're going to see a knockout, but I do think Danny is going to get outstruck a little bit. Co-main event, the Doctor. The Doctor, man. He's in a co-main event. Hey, clap it up for the Doctor getting in a co-main event, guys. We are fans of the Doctor. I remember his fight, back in the day at UFC 259, kicking off the Adesanya and Blachowicz card. Fuck, bro. That was a while. Wait, was it that card? We gotta check. But he's coming up against Jeff Neal. Jeff is just coming off a fucking awful run in his career, dude. Like, they made him fight Prates. That elbow was nasty. That looked fucking painful, dude. That shit against Prates that he got hit with, that looked painful, but dude, other than that, Jeff Neal's pretty good, dude. Like, I'm gonna pick Jeff Neal to knock out the Doctor, but if his chin got like seriously, but it landed on the side of his head, but if his chin got seriously cracked from that shit, I could see the Doctor getting a knockout, but I think Jeff Neal is actually good at fighting. He's good at fighting, so I'm not gonna like pick him to Like this guy's a fucking going to a split decision with Ian Gary. This guy's good at fighting. All right, whatever you want to think about the losses, Jeff Neal's good at fighting. His hands are kind of good. Anyone who isn't like Prates, he's having a competitive fight with. So yeah, I'm gonna pick him to win. Like Uros Medic got knocked out by Punahele Soriano last year, who's below him on the card. Like, come on, dude. Let's not overthink this one. Jeff Neal by knockout. It's actually like, what are the odds, dude? The odds are gonna be like he should be like minus 400. I'm not lying. If I was like my vibes based models have Jeff Neal at like minus 400. My models, my bad. My models have Jeff Neal minus 400. The fuck? I gotta pull this up on my phone. Minus 200? Really? Melky is more of a favorite against Dan Ige than Jeff Neal is against Uros the Dr. Medic. Really? I just I just don't believe that for some reason. So something's wrong with that. Something is wrong here. So yeah, we're gonna pick Jeff Neal to win this one by knockout pretty easily. Like he's just too good at boxing. If the doctor runs him over, gets a takedown, submits him, that'd be crazy. If the doctor wins, that'd be crazy. But nah, Jeff Neal's gonna win. Come on. All right, we made it main event time. Here's the fucking thing, you guys. I said I'm not even gonna say the F slur. I was actually about to, but I'm not trying to get like booted off YouTube, but I would. I don't care that Sean Strickland said Faggot. Am I even allowed to spell it out? I don't know. I say that word all the time. I don't see an issue with it. Um, here's the fucking thing, you guys. Fluffy is too small, and I'm gonna beat Hamza. Dude, I'm not even doing a good Strickland impression now. But yeah, I'm picking Sean to win this one. Like I know everyone is gonna like that's gonna pick Fluffy. Is gonna say, "Yo, bro, what are you saying, Holmes? Fluffy gonna run him over." Nah, nobody's gonna say that. But nah, I think Fluffy is gonna like he's too. I don't know what the fuck. Okay, let's do this. I watched his last fight with Roman Dolidze earlier this week, and like on the feet, okay, he was stinging Roman when he would get into range. He would land a right hand on him, right? And Roman would get wobbled. And that was most of the damage that he was doing in that fight. The takedowns, he was controlling Roman like with a fucking wrist ride. But anytime Roman would go for a leg lock, he would just like let him right up and then let Roman gas himself out. And then eventually he rear naked choked him and dragged him across the octagon. That was the funniest fight I've ever seen because Roman Dolidze's garbage. And that's the thing. Roman Dolidze's garbage, right? So is it really that impressive for a guy who's a top contender to fucking beat his ass like that? And dude, the ass beating, it was belt to ass, but it wasn't as belt to ass as people are making it out to seem. He wasn't doing as much damage with ground and pound. He was kind of just controlling, but Sean does have good wrestling, and he's really been working on that because he really wants the Hamzat fight. So and Sean is a lot bigger than Fluffy. And Drickus, who is, I would say, if you want to agree with me on this, Drickus is a lot physically stronger than Fluffy Hernandez. And Sean was able to work his way back to the feet against Drickus every single time. And the thing with Fluffy is everyone talks about his cardio. His cardio's crazy. Like DC's like, oh my god, dude, he's just taking him down, man. But he's not doing any damage with the takedowns, especially against a guy Strickland who has really good get ups off bottom, who has good takedown defense to begin with. And like Sean has good cardio. He has the cardio to deal with the pressure, I think. And The Teeps are gonna keep Fluffy at bay on the feet. I don't think Fluffy's striking is like good enough to be able to like land on Sean, right? Now maybe Fluffy actually just like runs across the void and starts stinging Sean with punches, but dude, at range, Sean is gonna jab and teep his way. Like Fluffy is there to be jabbed, he's there to be teeped, and if Sean is just moving away calmly, sticking to his defense, and not really getting taken down much, and if he is getting taken down, he's just gonna get back up. You know, that leads to a jab and teep 5 round decision, right? Like that's what it's gonna lead to. And I mean, Fluffy, dude. I mean, he beat Brendan Allen, which is a good win. That aged well, but Sean is a lot better of a wrestler than Brendan Allen, and he's a lot better of a striker than Brendan Allen. And even Brendan Allen beat Fluffy in the first round. Roman Kopylov beat him in the first round as well, and we saw what fucking RoboCop and Paulo Costa did when they fought him. So yeah, Fluffy's wins are essentially, my point is Fluffy's wins are overrated, and he's not so good at wrestling that he's gonna be able to like just be holding Sean down and beating on him with ground and pound the entire fight. If he does, it's gonna be one of the most impressive performances in UFC history, and given the title shot, and like if he can do that to Sean, he actually might beat Hamzat, right? But I'm not gonna bank on that happening. I trust in Sean's skills, and I trust in him to get this one done, and then call for a fight at the fucking Whitehouse against Hamzat or some shit. Even though he doesn't deserve a title shot, he's coming off of one already. Like he's coming off of losing one. He doesn't deserve a title shot. He should be fighting like, I don't know. Hey, who the fuck should Sean even be fighting next if he wins this? Like this is why middleweight's kind of a little bit cooked, but maybe I don't know. But yeah, that's just it. I'm picking Sean to win. Here's the fucking thing, you guys. I've been working on my wrestling really hard, right? Like he has been, and I don't think Fluffy's skill in the grappling is that good, like jujitsu wise. So yeah, I mean, if he pulls that stupid fucking guillotine out where he sits off to the side, gets Sean in a front headlock, sits off to the side and guillotines him, cool, whatever. But yeah, I don't really think either of these guys beat Hamzat. I don't really think Sean's the guy to beat Hamzat either. I think Hamzat would run Sean over and land him for 5 rounds. But yeah, that's my pick. Crazy, controversial, some would say. You know what I mean? To pick Strickland to beat Fluffy Hernandez, but I'm riding with Sean on this one. We're gonna jab and teep our way to a decision for you fucking guys. All right, like and subscribe, comment for the algo, watch the video all the way through, and yeah, peace.